Soundstripe. Soundstripe.
Hey everybody, welcome to Outskirts Overland. I'm driving, my truck's super loud. I've got some new microphones, so I hope that translates to you guys. But anyway, so I'm driving, I'm going camping. I'm just driving. I was gonna cover some stuff while I drive. So I guess first things first, I gotta let you guys know, Onyx Off-Road, go ahead and use code GlobalOverland236, get 20% off. There is Black Friday deals coming from WeBoost. Use code OUTSKIRTS5 and get 5% off of WeBoost. They do have some additional discounts going on to come up with there, but definitely something to look into. Also, check out my guys over there at Toyota Trucks of Arkansas on Facebook, and hopefully they can help you guys out too. If you're a local to me anyways, in the Midwest, has a Toyota. Going over there, they're cool dudes. I'd also like to, I'm driving to Springfield right now to hang out with some friends, so we're going to go do some camping. I just left work at 5. My clock on my truck's actually still not set for daylight savings. For those of you that know, I drive my truck every day, so I'm still kind of like, oh, well, okay then. Something's going on there. And so I'm dealing with that a little bit too. Let me see if I got that works a little better for you guys. So I got that going on as well. I'm trying to get this thing to not be on my truck. Anyways, nonetheless, guys, I'm driving down. Been thinking about a few things. I didn't get on this Tuesday as I would have because this Tuesday was, everybody knows, the election. So I tried to not interrupt anyone from that, or think that I was going to get anything out that was more important than that. Obviously, that's everybody's biggest, pivotal thing occurring, on Tuesday. And then Wednesday and Thursday, my kids, they're psychopaths, so I couldn't get on and do anything then. But here I am. So anyways, getting ready to go out camping. Weather's been kind of weird, cold and warm, so it's kind of this odd, it's kind of this in-between. I got my diesel heater with me. Do I need it? Probably not. Maybe I do, maybe don't. I don't know. Like a weird thing. I did go ahead and I went ahead and put my diesel heater in like a Pelican case or like a cool case, an orange one. So I moved my diesel heater into something like that. That's pretty freaking sweet. Didn't take me a whole lot of time. Wasn't that big of a deal. Really enjoyed that. So that was tight. So if I do use it, it'll be my first weekend using it, and I'm pretty excited about that. Otherwise, I don't know if I'm going to need it or not, but here we are. I've got all my stuff with me. I'm ready to roll. Forgot a few things at home. Didn't want to drive home after work to go get them, because I am leaving right after work. For those of you guys that know that life, man, it's tough. And like I said, I don't drive my truck every day, so I try to leave it packed, but naturally a couple things come out. And so a couple things came out, a couple things went back in. Some things didn't make it, unfortunately. I am looking to go I'd like to go to the Ozarks this weekend. We're meeting in Springfield today, Springfield, Missouri. I don't give location, so I'll just leave it at that. We're going to Springfield, Missouri today. And then we want to go to the Ozarks, but man, the Ozarks just got so much freaking rain. I don't know that that's going to be feasible. I guess I'll spend some time looking at it tonight, and I'll know a little more then. But yeah, they got a bunch of rain, lots and lots and lots of flooding. It does happen down in the Ozarks somewhat frequently. I wouldn't say it's extremely frequent, but it does happen. So it's not something I'm unfamiliar with by any means, but it might put a little bit of a hindrance on what I really want going on. It's also a lot of clay out here in the Midwest, so once it gets real wet, you're really committing to kind of it's going to be kind of it's a commitment because you're ending up, it turns like rock when it dries on your truck, and it just gets everywhere. It's all over the place. It's sloppy. It's just like, I don't know. It's like, it's just so slick and thick. It gets on everything, and man, when it dries, it is hard. Like, you could build roads with this crap. So I'm a little apprehensive to get out and wheel too much, but I would like to camp. But I like to camp near water, and I think most places I like to camp near water are inaccessible because flooded. So I don't really know what my go-to situation is there. I may come back toward my home base, Columbia, and find like a campground or something and go camp at a campground. That's usually not what I like to do, but in order to get outside and decompress, which is what I essentially why I do any of this. Sometimes, I don't even know how to say sometimes. I've done that a couple of times in the past. This would be, the couple. I'm driving down towards Springfield now. I got people passing me. It looks like we got some folks that are going to get down with their side-by-sides. Well, what else is new if you're not new to off-roading, or you are new to off-roading? I mean, side-by-sides they're part of us now. That's just what it is. So lots of guys headed down with side-by-sides. But yeah, so what I was going to talk about today is, it was the election this week, but the other really big thing that's going on within the industry of overlanding and cars and car culture is SEMA. SEMA's going on right now, and I have seen some new products coming out, and here I was thinking that overlanding was taking a hit, like we're headed down. And I am here to say that I think overlanding, some brands have gotten out of it, but some bigger players are getting into it. I saw some cool stuff coming out from different brands that are already in the space, that have been in the space a long time, and other major brands and players within the car industry. Chevy's got some stuff out. That's relatively new. Harbor Freight's coming out with some stuff that's pretty specific to off-roading and overlanding. They're coming out with solar power generators now. They have a whole line of them. They're branded as Predator, like their regular generators, and their four-stroke, engines for go-karts and stuff, Predator brand. They got new solar panels that came out. I'm seeing some more brands buy into the space, which just means that there's market share here still. But what I am also noticing is budget. Budget is now a big thing. I think that the space blew up so big in 2020 that people got money to spend on it because it's what they were doing, and there was money there to spend. But now I think, differently. I think more budget brands are getting in, and they're trying to, merge the space between, quality and price, which I think is extremely exciting. I've been spending some time looking and seeing these new, I don't want to say they're new brands, but seeing, how some of these smaller, that were more budget brands, now what they're coming out with and what it looks like and the quality of it. And even if the quality of it, I'll never know until I own some stuff, right? But even if the quality of it isn't there, I'm seeing, warranties, customer service policies change within brands, which means they're standing behind their product more. Whether they think that's a selling point to people or not, and that's potentially a marketing strategy, I don't know. But there are some really good-looking, less expensive products that I'm seeing get to the marketplace now. And that is awesome. That's very cool. I can't explain how excited I am about that, actually, because I'd like to see that middle-of-the-road product really elevate in quality. Or not middle of the road, because obviously if it elevated in quality a lot, it'd be. But I'd like to see that middle of the price range elevate in quality, a lot. I think that would get more people into the hobby, because the last 4 years, it's been real expensive. And if you've been doing this since pre-2020, you'll know some stuff just skyrocketed. There's also a whole lot of things that we didn't have prior to 2020. Products and pieces of equipment and stuff. And some stuff got quite a bit less expensive. Like I talk about my diesel heater, it's quote unquote Chinese diesel heater. It's not a Webasto. I mean, this thing cost me like $90. And then I got this case from, I got this Pelican case. It's like one I already had. It's maybe like $100 in this thing in a case. Well, Planar makes one in a case, $1,500. So Webasto's $2,000. Like these were what you could get prior to 2020. So definitely some things have happened. You can definitely get on Amazon and look at things. But I mean, even just like standalone products companies, electronics companies. Electronics are real big for charging and fridges and power stations and things like that. Yeah, it's just really you got many options for roof racks and bed racks and bumpers. There's just more diversity, I guess, of brands, which is pretty nice and exciting, But yeah, I'm quite enjoying those things occurring and being around. But it's nice to see at SEMA some of the stuff that's taking place. Obviously, Toyota and Lexus still has a huge booth from what I've seen. I didn't go to SEMA, but SEMA's where, the next year's worth of products are going to get released. And I'm very interested in anything, welders, tools, overlanding products, camping products, things that are innovative, things that are coming to market that haven't been in market. What is that? Let me look at it. Is it cool? So I'm really excited about that. That gets me excited, and man, if there's anything I need is something to get excited about. I've been doing this a long time, and now I'm getting to the point where I've been doing the podcast long enough, I'm like, I need something to talk about. Like I said on the last podcast, like, I'm in my truck right now, like, here, I tell you guys I got red lights all the time. I'm in my truck right now, like, this thing is done. Like, there ain't much left to do in this thing. So, if nothing else, at least maybe I'll find some, new products to market or get a chance to get my hands on some different things and test it out and see if it makes my life any better or worse, or if it's, if it's worth it, kind of what's going on there. But it's kind of just Groundhog Day for me. Truck's built. Obviously, there's a new Tacoma out. Everybody knows that. There's always going to be a new truck out. There's always going to be a new SUV out. There's going to be whatever, and you could chase the freaking Joneses if you want. For those of you that don't understand that, essentially, you can continue to just upgrade till your heart's desire, but eventually you got to kind of commit to something and stick with a platform and kind of just build from there. And, my friends at this point, my truck's only 5 years old, but they're like, it's only a matter of time before your truck's a cool old Toyota. And I'm like, yeah, don't talk like that. My truck's like new to me. So I'm like, it's not a cool old Toyota yet. It's 5 years old. Like, stop. Anyways, but, that is true too. Like, sometimes the nicely built, older rig is sought after, so like people are like after that, yeah, it's just different. But I mean, lots of brands are buying into the off-road, the RT tires and the more aggressive ATs, AT Extreme, XYZ, whatever, 10-ply tires, 8-ply tires. That's targeting the overland space. The rock crawling space doesn't want anything to do with an AT, probably. I mean, definitely not an AT. Most likely not an RT. They want the MT. They want the Cypress tires. They want the softer compounds. They want the sticky stuff. They don't want these 10-ply, 35-inch, more aggressive, 3 Snow Peak rated, 8 all-terrains. That's just not what they're after. That's not what that group of folks is after. So I'm seeing more brands come out with that, that rugged terrain, that more aggressive all-terrain. I've even seen companies like Toyo. They've got a Toyo Open Country RT, but then they've got an RT Trail, which is a different. Like, they've got a subsect of 2 RTs, and then they've got ATs, and Falcon's got a good AT, and naturally I have Kenda RTs. I love my Kendas. Kenda loves me too, so I mean that also plays a part in that. But they've done me really good, and they look good. I like them, and et cetera, et cetera. My truck's real freaking loud, though. If you guys, I mean, I don't know how good these mics I bought are at kind of getting rid of that noise. I mean, I know the mics are good, but my truck's also real loud, and those of you that have built out rigs, like, these things make noise. It's just the way it is. Stuff rattles, stuff vibrates, you know, exhaust is loud, tires are loud, it's all loud, it's all gears are loud. You know, I got racks and boxes and snorkels and wind noise, and everything makes freaking noise. The highway is like the bane of my existence for travel, but it is an absolute, complete necessity for travel, especially when you're me and everything's forever away. My friends are currently already at our spot at 6:17 p.m. where I'm at. They're there. I'll be there like 8:30. I pretty typically take a little bit of time off work, but they were all going to get there at 6, and with daylight savings time, which also happened last weekend, with daylight savings time, it's already freaking dark. What's the difference between 6 or 8? You know, who cares? It's dark. It's pitch freaking black. I like to go a little earlier when I do go because I'm going to catch some light, and that feels, whether it is or it isn't, it feels more productive to me. I mean, I could get there at 6 or midnight. To me, it's kind of the damn same. I'm driving in the dark, which I hate doing to begin with. The last thing I want to do, knock on wood, is, you know, have to steel bumper a deer. Like, I don't want to be doing none of that. I don't want nothing to do with that. So I always prefer to be driving in the light, but here we are. So, you know, not a whole lot. To get on here and chit chat a little bit. I mean, I don't got a whole lot going on. Like I said, truck's done. My sliders did just show up from RCI. And let me tell you, turn times are a big deal in the fabrication space. Turn times are like actually kind of ridiculous right now. RCI projected, what they say, 6 to 8 weeks, 4 to 8 weeks. They're on my door in under 4 weeks. And I got sliders that were powder coated, so I know they outsourced that. Hell, they might outsource the fabricating. I don't even know, but they got to me in half the time they project. I'm real happy with that. I have got high quality steel, all pro off road. As I mean, I got a friend that's waiting for a bumper that he ordered in April. Like, what? Dude, it's November. That blows my mind, but hey, what are you going to say? Like, they got to build this stuff. It is what it is. Move on, move forward. It just, man, sometimes you're like, man, I've been out of this money for like a year already. Like, for me, it always makes me a little nervous when my money's out and I don't have the stuff yet. It's always a little nerve-wracking to me. So that's definitely something I think about a lot whenever I am buying fabricated parts. But anyways, I gotta cut these freaking frame sliders off. They're welded on. The ones I got are bolt on. I don't know if I'll bolt them on. Probably bolt and weld them, even though it'll be a pain to get the ones I have on off because they are welded on. I mean, I like welded. It just gives me a little more peace of mind, honestly. So we'll see, but I'll get some pictures on my social medias and stuff once those are on. I do currently have steel rock sliders on now. Like I have stated before, and I'll just say it again for those of you that haven't heard it. They're just not a brand I really am real interested in. I did get them, free. My truck is on their website. I didn't have the podcast. I didn't have, amazing income at that point. So, I mean, they're on here. They're not fantastic. They are mild steel. They're not DOM steel. They're not, I mean, they have protected my truck, but they show that they have protected my truck. And I don't mean scratches. They're dented. And I went with RCIs because that's a frame slider that's not going to dent. Like, you are not going to dent an RCI slider. You're not going to dent a Cali Race slider. You're not going to dent a C4 slider. Like, those are very high quality products. There are other products out there that are going to protect your truck. And I honestly, these rock sliders have protected my truck. But the slider isn't the most protective. Like, it does it is bending the tubing. Not into my truck, like the tubing's caving in on itself in the bottom tube. And most of these other brands have a square tube on the bottom, where these have a round tube, and that may have something to do with it. I'm not I don't make armor, so I don't really know. But so that's something. But either way, but I would ask you all to like kind of check out what's going on with SEMA. There's some cool new stuff coming out. Also make sure you're paying attention. Right now is the time. Right now is the time. Black Friday's coming, and not to throw you guys for a loop, like everybody's looking for something on Black Friday for sure. But like, don't think of just Overlanding products, man. All of these brands are going to be selling out year-end stuff, camping stuff. Tents, sleeping bags. I don't mean rooftop tents, like any tent, like any camping gear, stoves, anything, like utensils, plates, cutting boards, knives. Like they're all. If SEMA's happening right now, that's like the beginning of the next year for this entire industry. Like the entire industry's new stuff's coming out this weekend. So think of maybe stuff you've been looking at, and the industry may have shifted away from that thing, and now, that thing you've been looking at is old news and on sale. And that might be something to pay attention to. Like something you've been looking at that was too expensive, or this, that, or the next thing. Like now the new iteration might be out, and that last iteration might be on sale soon too. So not even just Black Friday, just like the industry takes, it kind of turns over right now in November, right before Black Friday, which is intelligent if you think about it from like a sales standpoint, but also to be, just be privy of it as a consumer, like anything, knives, utensils, plates, stoves, boxes, power stations, solar panels, batteries, like truck batteries, car batteries, tires, wheels. Like, just because something new is coming out for 25 doesn't mean the 24 stuff sucks. I mean, because you wanted it all this year. Like, and it might be heavily discounted at some point because they might upgrade it somehow, but the last year's model is not hurting anybody, really. And it's not used stuff. So think about that too. Like, the industry is turning over right before. I did see, what was I looking at? Some companies are starting to get ahead of Black Friday, and I'm a veteran, so like I appreciate the sentiment, but having been in sales most of my professional life, I also realize that I want to believe they're doing Veterans Day sales, but really I think they're just doing 2 weeks ahead on a Monday Black Friday sales. And it's just convenient to say Veterans Day because you can put a placeholder to it. I want to believe that's not the case, but again, as somebody that says sales my whole life, it's a fun way to go, hey, we're going to give you these steep discounts for Veterans Day, which also just so happens to undercut everybody 2 weeks on sales, so hopefully you'll look at us first. But don't let my analysis of their marketing stray you away from still looking at their sales. Something I've noticed lately too, if you're a first responder, doctor, teacher, veteran, service member, firefighter, whatever, a lot of brands are getting behind having a unique discount for GovX. So if you're any of those things, you can get a GovX account and you can get a discount that way too through your GovX account, and it'll create a unique discount code for that site, for that product, for that cart, and you can apply it, and it's usually worth anywhere between free shipping to 20% off. So that's worth looking at. A lot of times companies in general will let you put that discount on top of other discounts. Some companies are pretty strict on one discount, so if you're getting 20% off for whatever, daylight savings, Veterans Day, Black Friday, whatever, they're not going to allow you to also add that GovX discount on, but some brands do. So, and that's where it just is that time of year where, like, I don't want to be like Mr. Consumer Overland guy, but like, it's that time of year to have more than one cart open and be kind of, and more than one tab open and be compare and contrast. Like, not even different brands. Like, sometimes the same brand will be drop shipped from numerous companies, and this company will have a better discount than the other company. They're either willing to take a larger loss, they're doing something different, whatever. They may have different shipping contracts to make stuff cheaper, but sometimes you get the exact same product from this supplier versus that supplier at different costs. Or sometimes certain brands, they just offer, you can discount double check. You know what I mean? Like you can kind of apply layer discounts. So I always tell everybody have the same stuff in a couple different carts and just see what happens. The company that continues to email you with further discounts, like eventually, they're working for it. So keep an eye on that. But yeah, that's what's going on in the space of sales and products. I would love to get on here and tell you guys about a bunch of new products I've seen with specific details. I've seen like TikToks and Instagram Reels and different things with details. I've yet to get not details with new items, with new items. But there's not like spec sheets on those yet. I'm not testing them. Nobody else has them. They're at SEMA. But, that's a display essentially. So I couldn't give you guys any more info, but just, kind of keep an eye on it. There will be an abundance of people talking about come look at the top 5 products for Black Friday 2024 from SEMA. Like 1 million and 1.5 million of those videos are about to come out. I mean, watch them, find the 3 things you really like that all 3 of them are talking about, and maybe pay some attention there. But that is going on /over now. So that's a thing. But yeah, that's it. I'm going camping. I'm driving. I wanted to get something out, talk to you guys a little bit. Some stuff is changing. Looks like Overlanding still has market share. I really was expecting SEMA to go back to, go back to cars and trucks for looks. I was really expecting to see way more detailing stuff, innovations in wheels and tires, compounds for racing and suspensions for that. But it definitely looks like Overlanding still got market share, which is awesome. It's a hobby I prefer. It's a hobby I have. It's the type of vehicle-based hobbying that I like. I'm happy to see that there's been some expansion actually, when my opinion of what I've seen lately out at expos, and I don't know if that's a good litmus test, but less people are doing it, it appears. I'm out on the trails and stuff, and I'm seeing way more side-by-sides and way less vehicles. But we had our thing. It was all rooftop tents, then it was all Gazelle tents. Now it's back to rooftop tents, and expedition is a word again. Touring is a word again. Overlanding is a term that encompasses both those, but I'm hearing more about, long-term travel, expedition travel, touring. I'm hearing a lot of those terms. I'll use this vehicle for wheeling, and I want to build something that's, for more long-distance travel. So, I think that's becoming a part of the space too. That's where I've always been. My truck is by no means a rock crawler. It's a do-it-all, long, stay in it a long time, drive a long way type thing. So yeah, that's my, I don't want to say 2 cents, but that's my 10 cents getting you guys into the weekend. I will be back on next week as normal on Wednesday. Yeah, so that's what's going on. I'm going to go back and listen to this audio, see if it's any worth of crap. I am planning to put my rock sliders on next week. If this turns out to work okay for me, I'll do more videos from my phone, showing you guys different stuff, in real time instead of pulling up websites and different things like that, blah, blah, blah. So anyways, I'll be putting some content out. We've got tonight's whole purpose is whiskey drinking. We're all bringing in a bottle of whiskey. My buddy Johnny just texted me about getting ice. If Johnny's listening right now, potentially. I don't have ice, but I am getting us ice for our drinks. I got my whiskey smoking kit. He's got a whiskey smoking kit. Some other people are going with got whiskey smoking kits. It's going to be a freaking extravaganza. We haven't even talked about food, so I think we're just fancy whiskey in it. And that, my friends, is the best way to do a Friday night, in my opinion. So anyways, I will catch you guys next week. I am going to, get back down to knocking out some miles and see if I can get there a little quicker. And I got to pick up some ice now. So anyways, I'll catch you guys later. Have a good week. Have a good weekend. Get outside. Get camping. Enjoy it. planning for the thing, building a truck for the thing, thinking about the thing. None of those are doing the thing. Do the thing. Get out. Like, actually do it. Don't watch somebody else do it. Don't listen to me do it. You